talking about destruction of water bodies and forest reserves. We are talking about loss of lives. We are talking about the destruction of the future of our children and their children. That is what we are talking about. It is not about the money we would make today. You can make the money and say, well, I'll send my kids out of the country. But how justified would it be to say that I would keep my house destroyed because I can get my family to someone else's house because they have managed to preserve their houses? And that is why we thought, together with our partners, that maybe the time has come for us to stop the whole thing about blaming ourselves. The problem is MPP. The problem is NDC. President Akufo-Addo was not committed enough. President Mahama is not showing enough commitment. I think we've gotten to a point where we should tell ourselves, enough of that. We've done it and it hasn't worked. What would work is coming together, thinking together, brainstorming together, and telling ourselves, well, the time to find a solution to this is now. What is happening here in Ghana is perhaps we don't see it. Otherwise, maybe it's almost the same as what is happening in Burkina Faso in terms of the terrorism. They are terrorists capturing territories. And we are having people, lawlessly taking over territories to destroy. And we seem to be continuously saying it is this party, it is that party, and then the destruction continues. I want to believe that over the next 2 days, given the caliber of people who are here, are distinguished members of parliament, leaders and members of the 2 respective committees that are in charge of this sector, our academics, members of the board of the National Peace Council, representatives of our religious institutions, representatives of our National Commission for Civic Education, environmental NGOs representatives. I don't think that we would go out from here between today and tomorrow and report back to Accra that we went, we talked, we discussed, but we came back with no solution. I want to believe that we would say we went, we discussed, we brainstormed, and we came up with some suggestions that we would continue to work on to ensure that for once we bring a solution, or we find a solution to this problem that is destroying our country. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, honorable members of parliament, I want to hope that we would end this 2-day conversation with some concrete solutions that all of us will be proud one day in saying, it was our discussion in a small meeting in Koforidua that served as the nucleus of what became the ultimate solution to the problem that is destroying our country. And so on that note, I would want to end here by thanking all of you for making yourselves available and committing to contributing to this conversation that is all about finding a solution to our problem. So, Auntie Esther, I would end here and then leave all of us under your care as you shepherd us into the conversations. Thank you so much.
Your submission makes it a distinctly personal as well as a very corporate concern about, the environmental, the health, the economic, the conflict, the lack of options, the issues. As you were speaking, I could see mine, except that mine is in Achim land, and the way my father's lands have been But that is not the conversation today. The conversation is about starting this process. So I have enormous pleasure to invite the board chair of the National Peace Council, the Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofi Fiano, to also welcome us. Reverend, please, when you do, say something to God as well, because some people sent me some signals that we hadn't spoken to God, and why were we proceeding? So please, salvage me and salvage my shame. Thank you very much. Right. Oh, please, yes, there, so that they can capture it.
Just ask organizers for the clip we produced to publicize or announce this dialogue. We have a mandate to prevent conflict. And I don't want to sound prophetic, but looking at what has happened in other places, we need to prevent conflict due to Galamsey. The stages we are talking about now probably are the early warning signs of what is to come. Conflict between those who are deeply involved in Galamsey and those who want to prevent it. Conflict between those who want to seize more mineral-enriched lands from those who are already occupying those places. Just think of the number of guns, ammunition that have been seized already in the various operations by the military or the police. Our task, our mission as National Peace Council is to prevent conflict. And we see the Galamsey menace as an area that can create conflict. And so we are happy to be part of this dialogue to bring across this aspect of the journey we are undertaking. That if we do not do anything quickly, we may be overtaken by events. None of us, I believe, wants our country to be at war. None of us wants pockets of our lands to be inaccessible because people are fighting in those areas. But when we come to think of it, we should also say that we know the problem. We have talked about it several years now. And I dare to say we all know the solutions to these problems, because we have also discussed several times, different occasions, the solutions. What we need to ask ourselves in our discussions in these 2 days, I suggest, is an introspection to know why are we not applying the solutions we have discovered or we know can put an end to what is happening. Why are we afraid to put our foot on the ground, doing what will bring to an end Galamsey? It is high time we stop pointing fingers at other people, but we should be asking ourselves our own contribution to the non-implementation of those solutions. In the video clip I was talking about, I spoke about the need for dialogue with all the stakeholders involved in Galamsey menace. The one who is giving the land, the one who is allowing them to clear his cocoa farm in order to dig, the one who is digging or employing those who go to dig for him in order to get the gold, the one who is doing it because he thinks he doesn't have another job. Are we ready to dialogue with them to know why they are doing it and what solutions we can bring in order for these people to end what they are doing? It may sound complex, but what is demanded of us is to put our foot forward and start putting the solutions into practice, or start an action that will lead to the full implementation of all that we have already discussed and found as solutions. I think when we are able to do this, we will be responding to God's call to be co-creators of the universe, taking care of what God has given us, the environment, taking care of what we should leave behind as a heritage for those coming after us, protecting what has been handed over to us by our ancestors from God's creation. It is a call for an ecosystem that respects the environment to the extent that we will let what God has created remain beautiful. And it is in this line that I pray that our meeting in these 2 days will bring us not the solutions we already know, but the courage to carry out these solutions. If we go away from here armed with the courage and determination to bring an end to Galamsey, this meeting will have been successful. Thank you and welcome to all of you.
Thank you very much, Reverend. And thank you for those key things that you've drawn our attention to. The need to be preventive. The need to think about preventive so that we are not overtaken by events. The need to introspect and ask ourselves why we haven't applied the solutions that we already know. The need to put our foot forward and leave a heritage, be co-creators, and to carry forward with courage those solutions. With this, I would like to invite Dr. Mohammed, Director NCCE, to also welcome us. Doc.
In fact, I stand here representing the chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, Ms. Kathleen Ade, who had another, equally important assignment to attend, and therefore assigned me to represent her here, and also make some few, remarks. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the welcome remarks that have been made by the two previous speakers are things that, as NCC, we associate ourselves very strongly with. And as a commission, when we speak about Galamsey, we have a position on it. We've always insisted through our press statements and media engagement and community engagement that the issue about Galamsey borders on criminalities. They are criminal activities that should be handled by the security services that we have in this country. And we appreciate that they are competent enough to handle them. There are, issues that also border on partisan politics that, as a commission, we emphatically state that we should put party politics aside and deal with this national canker head-on. In the previous speakers' presentations, there has been a mention of terrorism. We are always referring to terrorism outside our borders. But here we have domestic terrorism. The violence that Galamsey made out to us may not be necessarily, they have been sometimes manifested in a very physical way. But structural violence that we cannot predict where it begins and where it can end is a thing that we should be worried about. Physical violence, you beat somebody, you hurt them, they go to the hospital, they are treated. But the structural violence that we see Galamsey is doing to our country through our river bodies and the food we eat, we are going to use years to handle them. We tout ourselves as a peaceful country. But, you can also experience peace in a negative way. Peace is not necessarily you get up every day and then everybody does their work. Peace could be enjoyed or endured in a very negative way. And that is what we are seeing in communities and even largely in our country that Galamsey is doing to us. On this note, we hope that the 2 days that we are going to spend here dialoguing will come out with concrete steps. And for us as NCC, what we boast ourselves with is our geographical presence across the country. We've been carrying out education on this menace, but for the purposes of this dialogue, whatever agreements, whatever consensus that have been built, we assure this country that our structures across the country in terms of physical offices and officers who carry out civic education in Ghanaian languages are ready to disseminate the information across for the benefit of our country. We also hope that the next 2 days will give us more learning curves on how to deal with this menace. Without spending much time, I would like to reinforce the gratitude of NCC for being acknowledged as a member of this important stakeholder engagement. Thank you very much, and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed. You've given us even new and more urgent dimensions in your submission. Very much so, the criminality of it, the issues of domestic terrorism, structural violence, the fact that the issues border on partisan politics, but we shouldn't take refuge in the perception that it borders on partisan politics. The fact that peace can be enjoyed or endured, and in the case of Galamsey, it appears we are enduring. And then NCC's geographical presence countrywide. This is interesting to me as a person in local government. Galamsey is very much a national menace, but it's also very much a local phenomenon. Very, very, very much. So thank you for bringing out that dimension for us. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we feel adequately welcome, does everybody feel welcome? Does everybody feel nicely welcome? Okay, great. Now, we are in the section of special remarks, and we are very privileged to have our legislators with us. I have enormous pleasure in inviting the Honorable Yao Frimpong Ado, Chairman, Parliamentary Select Committee on Environment, Science and Technology, to address us. Honorable.
Hi, good morning. Let me also stand on all the existing protocols and welcome everybody to this program. And also on behalf of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Environment, Science and Technology, give enormous thanks to the organizers of this program and inviting us to be active participants for 2 days. When we invite MPs to programs in Accra, the danger is that most of us live midway. But you thought it wise to bring us to Koforidua, and I think it's a wonderful idea that you brought us here. When the invitation came, I had some other engagement somewhere, but I told my clerk that as for this program, I will sacrifice the other program and attend this one. Because I'm wearing 2 caps here as the chairman of the Environment Committee, and everything we are discussing is about environmental sanity. And it didn't start from today. So if I happen to be the chair of this committee, then anything concerning establishing environmental sanity in this country, I should be the lead with my colleagues. And the second one is that I come from a notoriously small-scale mining constituency and district, where every river body, from my infancy to date, has been full of gold. Every stream, those that when it rains, if you've ever been to any community where there's gold, when it rains, after the rains, you see people bending down like this, as if they've lost something, they're looking for it. They are not looking for it, they are looking for gold. And they pick gold from the gutters. Incidentally, we are among the poorest community districts in Ghana, where people pick gold. Is the most ionic thing that has beaten my imagination since I'm 63 years, since my infancy. That how can people be picking gold from the ground, but they are poor? And when I became a member of parliament to date, the pressure on me to provide school fees and all these things tells me that it's not everything that glitters that is gold, and that we should not put everything, our values and everything should not be on money. So these 2 considerations inform my coming to this program. And from the initial statements that have been made, I must say that I've not regretted at all choosing to come here. From the legal point of view, we are lawmakers, but we also play oversight role over the executive. So the Committee of Environment, Science and Technology, our primary objective is to do proper oversight to ensure that we have a sanitized environment. But over the years, is it what we are observing? It's a big question. I always ask myself that the legalization of artisanal mining in 1988 or thereabout, was it a curse or a blessing? I've asked myself severally this very question. Was it a curse or a blessing? I mean, the governance experts will say, oh, it's a blessing because the state needed money from legalizing this. Those days, say, gather and sell, corrupted form, Galamsey. Legalize so that the government can have some revenue from there, because it was totally underground work that the government was not getting anything from it. But after the legalization, they started getting some revenue for it. Was it worth it? That's the question I've been asking myself. So over the years, people have been trying what we call responsible mining, and since the invitation came, I've gone through some research work, read a lot of literature, and there's every indication that whatever we are going to discuss here, we should not think that it has never happened again before. We have had several encounters over the years But just as my earlier spokesperson said, we seem to be far away from the solution. But we should not stop the dialogue. We, as members of the Environment and Science Committee, we commit ourselves to any dialogue like this, and then bring the perspective of the legal issues. That what can we do to ensure that although God gave Ghana lots of mineral resources, but the present way we are extracting these minerals, are they the best ways that we should extract the minerals? And that comes to our doorstep as a legislature. Which laws do we have to put in place to ensure that we go strictly according to whatever is allowed, that people can go and mine for any mineral in this country? Because as it is right now, people, although there are laws, I mean, we've passed several laws, but people with impunity, I don't know the best word to use, with impunity, people just throw away these laws, and with the connivance of several people within the chain. It's a whole chain until we come together to break that chain. And that chain, my executive director enumerated the chain. I mean, everybody is involved. So it's a chain. How do we break the chain? We have a governance structure in this country, and the governance structure is led by the executive. Before it comes to the legislature, before it comes to the judiciary and all others. So if the executive is determined to bring some of these issues to Parliament for us to pass these strict laws, because we ourselves cannot just come out with some of these laws, because we all know that Ghana, the private member bill, I mean, apart from the LGBTQ and a few others that we've seen, every law that comes to Parliament is sponsored by government. So that is the executive. So the political class, it is good we have assembled here. We should be bold to tell the political class that, look, you hold the key to the solution. Somebody mentioned the partisanship. The key, make it the political class. If you say partisanship, then we are going to have the names, NPP, NDC, CPP, co-mininis. But call all of us the political class if we really want to stop this menace. Every law in this country comes from this political class. So why can't we, as the political class, say, look, this thing, we must be determined to end it. And if we are determined to end it, this thing will end. I have been an MP for 13 years now. This is my fourth term in Parliament. My constituency is full of these activities we are talking about, but I've never engaged myself in it. There's so much money in it, but I said, no, money is not everything. I've never, anybody can call to my constituency and ask that your MP, they will tell you that I've never involved myself in it. So the political class, we can commit ourselves to it. We should not talk about the money involved too much, because in exchange of the money, it is what Dr. Brahma described for us. In the exchange of the money, the opportunity cost is so high that if you are not careful, you look at money and destroy our country. So on behalf of my colleague members of Parliament here of both committees that are invited here, we promise to actively engage ourselves in this dialogue for the 2 days. And maybe, just maybe, from here, as the Reverend said, from here, the good Lord is going to listen to all the actors so we can put an end to this menace. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for those very inspiring, very, very, very inspiring remarks. We have learned a lot from what you're saying, and we are inspired by your commitment. 30 years and more of legal artisanal gold mining. It's a time to look for our introspection. What factors have impacted on it? But even though the solution seems to be far away, we should not be deterred in our search for sustainable solutions. You mentioned that two very important things for me. The issue of the political class holding a critical part of the solution, and also the opportunity cost, the high opportunity cost, that we don't sacrifice short-term gains for the long-term situation of our country. Thank you very much. Honorable Sanjan Nanja, Vice Chair, Parliamentary Select Committee, Lands and Natural Resources, and many things besides. It's your turn. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Moderator. And I wish to express our sincere gratitude to organizers of this program for inviting us. And as it's just right that I stand on the existing protocols and make a very short remarks, as my colleague has already enumerated some of the issues, and even the earlier speakers have said it all. My chairman, I wish to send greetings from my chairman, Alaji Collins Dauda, and you all know how passionate he is about these things. He wish he could be here himself. He has been the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, I think the longest Lands and Natural Resources Minister. And when it comes to these issues, he's always very passionate about them. But unfortunately, some other engagements, equally important engagement, has taken him out of this program. So he has asked me to step in his shoes. Talking about Galamsey, we all agree that Galamsey is now a national crisis. Some say it is a canker. And it's a threat to our natural resources. When we talk of Galamsey, we are talking of the destruction of our environment, loss of forest, and our water resources. And these things, farmlands, and these things are for our survival. When you say Galamsey is a threat to these things, it's just like saying that Galamsey is a threat to our very existence or our human life. In the sense that we say that when the last tree dies, the last man dies. And we are destroying the forest. So when the last forest is finished, it means that our very existence has also come to an end. In the same way, we say water is life. And Galamsey is destroying our water bodies, polluting the waters. Recently, I think in Central Region, some water stations were closed down because of Galamsey. And we are even afraid that very soon we'll start importing water. Most Reverend, I think we have to pray that we don't reach that level. And people are doing this out of greed. They know the dangers, but they still do it. It's greed. And I think mobilizing people to find a solution. The crisis is now beyond one person's handling it or leaving it to a particular group, the political class that we have all been mentioning. It needs a stronger hands and a collective collaboration. And I think Media Foundation for West Africa, this initiative is a very laudable one, bringing everybody, experts, academia, religious leaders, politicians, traditional leaders, and authorities together for all of us to brainstorm in finding the solution is something we must applaud you. And we as a committee, just like my colleague said, we are committed to such dialogue because we have the oversight responsibility of making sure that those that are in charge of implementation, all the solutions we are going to find out to look for, when we get the solutions, somebody needs to implement them. And it is our duty as MPs to hold those people responsible on behalf of the rest of the citizens. So I hope that at the end of this program, MPs, our capacity, I see it as a more or less a capacity building program for us so that we can hold the implementers of our laws accountable on behalf of all Ghanaians. Thank you very much for inviting us. We are so committed.
Thank you very much, Honorable. And this is all very exciting. The threat on our survival resources. The threat on the very survival resources. Our forests, our lands, and even the threat of the prospect of importing water. Battles will be fought around water, and we need to be up and doing. Therefore, if this event will equip all of us, particularly legislators, with the tools to exact implementation and accountability, it will be a job well done. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's clap for all of our speakers. Now, we come to a high point of the program. Every program, the tone must be set. The marching orders must be given. The expectations must be outlined. And it is on those bases that I have the pleasure to invite the Honorable Elikem Kotoko, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Forestry Commission, who is our keynote speaker, to address us. Sir, the podium is yours.
Good morning. Centuries ago, way before my great-great-great-grandfather or mother or grandparents were born, according to the Bible, there lived a man called Paul. In his letter to the church of Corinth in Greece, he said that because he was one of the church, he found he became one of those who mattered most. And at the point in time, the church was facing issues of immorality, divisions, and questions about the Christian doctrine. And this, I am aware, is contained in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 9. And today, as I stand before you, I see myself as the least of persons supposed to be addressing you today. I thank you all, however, for this opportunity. I stand before you on behalf of the Minister, Honorable Emmanuel Amakofibua, who unfortunately had other engagements. And I am already happy that he was not able to make it. Reason being that I would have missed this beautiful encounter. And just as one of the speakers mentioned that he was wearing 2 caps, I find myself also wearing 3. As acting Deputy CEO of Forestry Commission, very concerned about the trees, the water bodies. As Deputy National Organizer of the governing political party, the National Democratic Party. And thirdly, as a concerned citizen who must have or be very concerned about what is going on. And so before I read what I have been tasked to do by or from the minister, permit me just a little latitude of time to congratulate the organizers of this program, because programs of this nature don't come easy. It definitely comes with a budget. It comes with its constraints. It also means that others would have to sacrifice their time to be present and partake in the exercise, or else its goals may not be achieved. And the fact that some have also moved, if not many, from the capital city to rather come to this venue, which is different from where they would have said to be their comfort zones. And so I welcome you all and congratulate you all for this initiative, and knowing that we all indeed have come to the realization and appreciation of the fact that the problem at hand is not one that we do not know. It is one that we all appreciate so much, but we now have to face realities, not play the ostrich, and profess solutions, workable, real solutions, in order to save Mother Ghana, where we all belong. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I bring you warm greetings from Honorable Minister Emmanuel Amakofibua, who has designated me to deliver this keynote address on his behalf. He would have loved to be here, but unfortunately, other equally important engagements have taken him away. I'm privileged to join you today for this very important high-level dialogue focused on mobilizing citizens' consensus on solutions to the Galamsey crisis in Ghana. I find this dialogue session very opportune and strategic as we intensify our fight against a life-threatening menace we all call Galamsey. Indeed, the ramifications of Galamsey, as previously perceived to be the problem of only mining communities, is now widespread. Increasingly, we are losing forest and vegetative cover, noticing the change in color and state of our water bodies, threat to biodiversity, both on land and in water bodies, toxins in foodstuff, increase in crime and social vices, and threat to human health. Ladies and gentlemen, until recently, I must say that most Ghanaians thought Galamsey was a problem for the 7 regions, notably Eastern, Western North, Ashanti, Ahafo, Savannah, and Central regions, where mining is considered to be carried out. Most Ghanaians forgot that these same regions are the food hubs of our country. The issue of Galamsey has gone beyond the devastation caused on land and on water bodies and has become a major threat to our very existence. Let us picture the River Pra, Ankobra, or Tano, not as blue lines normally depicted on a map, but as they are today, brown, murky, and very lifeless. Let us also picture the 5,500 hectares of our forest reserves, the equivalent to the size of 7,500 football fields that are no longer forests, but barren, toxic pits. And permit me to say that the figure of 5,500 hectares is very conservative. We are almost getting closer to 10,000 hectares. Let us continue to picture the farmer in the Western North region who can no longer use the water from the stream to water the crops that end up on our tables. Let us not lose sight of public health crisis, looking at rising cases of renal disease and birth defects in our mining communities. The Ghana Water Company Limited, in a recent press briefing, shared the impact of Galamsey activities on water resources and safety, which led to the shutdown of treatment plants at Bonsa and Brekese. To be blunt, our water is too polluted to be treated, with turbidity levels reaching an alarming 12,000 NTU when the maximum limit for treatment is just 500 NTU. One of the questions we all should ask is, what are we drinking? And it is not only about the water you pour in a cup to drink. Water is used in everything we do in our lives. So what are we drinking? Are we drinking poison? Are we drinking water? Or we are only convincing ourselves because we are alive today? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reality of our home, our communities, and our country today. As government, we are aware of the complexities associated with illegal mining. The main drivers of this menace, however, are: 1. Corruption among political officials and law enforcement agencies, which has exacerbated the problem and undermined efforts to combat this menace. I am sure this is one known truth to all of us in this room. Number 2 is limited awareness of the environmental and health risks associated with Galamsey among citizens. Number 3, weak enforcement of mining regulations. Number 4, unemployment, poverty, and limited access to opportunities. And then lastly, the global high demand for gold incentivizes illegal mining. Allow me to add that the current gold price stands very close to a whopping $4,000 per ounce. The mathematics, I leave it to you. Mr. Chairman, we are not here today because we are unaware of the problems, but to build consensus on strategic solutions to address this menace. As the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, I am leading the pursuit of a 5-pronged approach to resolving this menace, and I want to give you my word today that I am committed to doing so. The first is to promote stakeholder education and collaboration. The second is to implement regulatory reforms. The third is to strengthen law enforcement. The fourth shall be reclaiming the degraded lands and restoring polluted water bodies. Then the fifth one shall be providing alternative and sustainable livelihoods to our people. We find stakeholders' engagement very critical in the fight against Galamsey. The reason I am fascinated about the choice of this is a clear demonstration that we are fighting this menace together as a people. Lawyer, engineer, doctor, member of parliament, man of God, citizen. And we will win. Permit me to say that we have extensively engaged stakeholders relevant to this discourse. You may recall the recent CSO's engagement held at the seat of government with the president himself present at the Jubilee House. Not only was that very significant, but a clear demonstration of commitment of government and the political will to fight this menace and to see it to its logical conclusion. I must say that engagement was very timely, as it clarified so many pressing issues and doubts about our approach as a government to fight the illegal mining. We have instituted weekly press briefings to update Ghanaians on the fight and to foster transparency and accountability. On the regulatory and enforcement front, government has revoked a total of 278 small-scale mining licenses, fraught with irregularities. Additionally, comprehensive legal and policy reforms reviews are ongoing, with major amendments to the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, and the review of the Minerals and Mining Policy 2014, including the strengthening of local content and adding a medium-scale licensing regime. The ministry, which I head, through the Minerals Commission, is establishing district offices to bring mining governance services closer to the people. Indeed, decentralizing the mining permitting processes will deter people from engaging in illegal mining activities. Ladies and gentlemen, to strengthen the enforcement of our mining laws, we have established the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, to coordinate our security forces across various security agencies. We have seen the repossession of the 9 red zone forest reserves that were previously impenetrable and guarded by armed thugs. We have increasing scenes on media platforms, arrests that have been made, and the destruction of equipment such as the Shangfan used in polluting our rivers. NIMOS has trained and deployed over 400 security personnel in 21 illegal mining hotspots. You will agree with me that this has been highly circulated in the media, but it also leaves room to say that we haven't gotten where we want to get to yet, and there's still more to be done. Additionally, we have rolled out a new excavator import licensing regime, a collaboration with the DVLA, the GRA, and Minerals Commission, where at the end of September, a total of 1,181 excavators had been registered and 724 of those being tracked. To reclaim the degraded lands and restore polluted water bodies, we are rolling out the Tree for Life initiative, where we intend to plant over 60 million trees. The Blue Water Guards initiative has been launched to restore our water bodies, where a total of 980 Blue Water Guards have been trained and deployed so far. Mr. Chairman, we have established the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program, RCOMSDEP, at the community level with proper oversight, technology, and guidance for sustainable mining practices that benefit the community without hurting the environment. The program will be implemented in 40 mining communities, 40 mining communities. We are also collaborating with the World Bank to enhance the capacity of the Ghana Geological Survey Authority to identify mineralized areas to support small-scale and cooperative mining schemes. Ladies and gentlemen, these efforts are necessary to restore our lands and water bodies to their pristine states. Today, I put it to you that the Galamsey crisis is not at its core an environmental problem. It is not a technical problem. It is not even just a law enforcement problem. This is our moment for us to put aside political colors and a toxic past to embrace a sustainable future. Because we have all come to the conclusion and an agreement that the destruction this causes does not have political colorations. And it does not ask which party you belong to before the health defects visits you. Let me reiterate that this fight against Galamsey is not a sprint, but a marathon. As we engage today, not only as experts, but as Ghanaians, let us dialogue to build consensus and join the fight for our collective and sustainable future. Let us be the generation that decided that our water, our forests, our lands, and our children's health are not negotiable. Let us be the generation that choose consensus over personal interests. Let us be the generation that finally turned the tide. I would like to thank the Media Foundation for West Africa for inviting me as a keynote speaker and for organizing such an insightful and very important event. I wish all of us a fruitful deliberation. God bless us all. Thank you. On that note also, I am aware that we have a research report for the high-level stakeholders dialogue on solutions to the Galamsey crisis in Ghana, mobilizing citizens' consensus, and it's been distributed on the various tables. Do I wait for that to be distributed? I can go ahead. And so on this day, on that note, or on this note, I wish to congratulate the Media Foundation for West Africa for the initiatives they have taken, for the efforts they have made, and to commend them for every effort they have put in place and declare these duly and officially launched. Thank you.
Provoking, giving us a flow of the issues. Very opportune and strategic, he says, we are having over here. The problems have gone beyond the mining communities to affect biodiversity, toxins in our foodstuffs, crime, human health, and even the murkiness and lifelessness of our major rivers, the renal diseases, the bird defects. He's outlined the drivers for us. The issue of corruption, limited awareness, weak enforcement of sanctions, unemployment and poverty, and even the global demand for gold. He has shared with us the minister's five-pronged approach: stakeholder engagements, regulatory review, law enforcement, reclamation, and alternative livelihoods. Time is gone, but let me say this, that when I started working in this area in 1992, when you hear alternative livelihoods, then they'll give you 2 grasshoppers. Sometimes the grasshoppers are both male. Grass cutters. If you are not lucky, you get 2 male grass cutters. So the young people look at the grass cutters, then they go back to what they were doing in the first place. So meaningful alternative livelihoods, and the fact that this we are doing is a collective undertaking, even the president's own leadership on it when he engaged civil society. Drawn our attention to the comprehensive legal review that is being undertaken, including the revocation of mining licenses. The nature or the importance of local content in decentralizing mineral licensing, the establishment and the work of NAMers, the reclamation of the red zone forest areas, the excavator import licensing regime, the rolling out of the 2 million trees replanting initiative, and the work of the Blue Water Guards, 980 of them, a responsible cooperative mining program to be undertaken in 40 mining communities, strengthening the Geological Survey Authority. So all of this, he's told us that it's not going to be a sprint, but a marathon. Let us be the generation that said, no, we are not willing to negotiate on the future of our children, their health and their well-being. We've been given our marching orders. The documents are here. Let us find sustainable solutions to commit to and work around to secure our common heritage. Thank you very much. Right. So now we are going to do the needful. We are going to, what time is it? 10:52. 8 to 11. Oh, then I'm not doing as badly as I thought. Right. So, folks, you know what you are going to do. I'm an old woman. So you are going to go out, take a health break, take a picture, put some sugar in your systems, and they said 11. But me, I would ask you 10 minutes because it's 11:45. So 10 past 11, we will start. And unfortunately for me, these days I don't have leg. When I was younger and I was facilitating and I had leg, like I'll come after you. Now I don't have leg. So please, Dr. Muhu, are you laughing? So please, 10 past 11, we will start and make up the time. Thank you very much for your attention and cooperation. Any announcement? Okay, Doctor. Yes, indeed. The group photograph will be up here. So how do we do it? Are we going to organize some? Okay, help us to organize. Quick. Should we have chairs so that these our senior speakers will? They should all stand. Will you see everybody? Okay, start organizing. If you are happy and you are organizing, and happy and organizing, please come and let us take the picture now. This is my small tea break. I come to use it all to take picture. Okay, now, don't look far away. You are inside the picture. Bring the top remang and Adenchensu people from that side. Yes. No, I'm saying, say, I should have brought the people from there. They don't look like they are coming. Right. Okay, so please, come together. Yes. Most Reverend, please, a seat for you. Prof. I'm doing. I can't even see. Apostle, please sit. I'm of a generation which curtsies even my Apostle is talking to me, so please. I said, when my Apostle is on the phone, cry, I curtsy, so please. Yes, please. Yes, please. This woman, you are not tall. Oh, okay. I should come and sit here. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, so we'll sit. Yes, you know, I know this. Yes, 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 yes. So please, seize there. Help yourselves. Quickly, get some sugar. The bathrooms are out straight ahead. Do what people do. 10 past 11. Giddy, 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 like that. Yo.
Well done.
Thank you.
So, I think when we come back, when we come back, I wanted to introduce everybody in the room.
Who?
Yes. The MPs, maybe we will intro the MPs.
No, we'll introduce the MPs.
Yes. And then the rest.
And then maybe some key people.
Some key people, yes.
Yeah. I was afraid of time.
Yes, but I think we are still not too bad.
No,
with the
we are
time.
doing well.
We are doing well.
about 10 minutes.
Yes. Yes.
Our slippage is about 10 minutes. Madam, sorry, let me interrupt you. I want to be able to introduce the MPs. So if you can help me get a list and their constituencies, yes. So we can. I'll deal with them.
I'm moving. One of our speaker wants to travel today. Okay. So your panel gets it tomorrow. I'm moving it to today at the last panel.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Then I will swap panel tomorrow for the guy has to start.
We'll deal with
So
it.
you have two panels today.
I will do it. I'm going. I said I'm not doing too much.
So let me see. They have to write it. Hello. They have to rewrite everything for you.
No, on the paper, a sheet of paper that he will mention. Those who came and then their constituencies. Right.
Angelique.
Oh, how are you? How are you? How are you? It's all over the place, so forgive me. I'll come back to you shortly. Yes. Party, move. Wait, so it had moved the agenda. How quickly?
This is a nose mask.